Hello and welcome to Sheba Online Studies. Children, are you ready to learn? Okay, fine. I am ready to teach. Are you ready to learn? Okay, fine. Take your books. Take your book in your hand. Keep the book in front of you. Take page number 126. I will be taking Unit 2 poem, The Listeners. Okay, written by Walter de la Mare. All right. Okay, I will read the poem and then I will be explaining it to you. All right. Okay. Is there anybody there? Said the traveller, knocking on the moonlit door, and his horse in the silence champed the grasses of the forest ferny floor, and a bird flew out of the turret above the traveller's head, and he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveller. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he stood perplexed and still. Okay, till there I will explain that to you. Okay, now this is actually it's this traveller is coming all the way. He is coming to that place. A long distance he has been travelling. Okay, travelling for a very long distance, and he is coming to that place to take rest for some time. Okay, when he came there, as he came there, he came and knocked at the door. Said, "Is there anybody there?" Kept knocking, but nobody answered. Thrice he knocked. Thrice he asked, kept on asking, "Is there anybody?" But nobody answered. He was thinking, what happened? Is there anybody inside the house or not? Meanwhile, his horse, see there, the words, see, and his horse in the silence champed the grasses. Now, how the place was? Time is midnight. Okay, in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock in the night now. That place, that man comes down to rest, knocks at the door, and nobody answers the door. Okay, and he just looks around the whole place. He can see that nobody has been inhabited. That is the place where people were there, means there will be some clearing of the forest nearby. There will be some garden, of course, and all the creepers. I know what's the creepers in the from the door. No, there will be long creepers going inside the house to the windows. If people are there, will we allow all the creepers to go inside the house? No, we will cut it down and keep it neat. But here, all the creepers, the roots of the trees are going inside, and he just peered inside the house and saw. So in the middle of the house there is one tree growing. So then he got little scared. He's saying, okay, something is wrong with this house. I think nobody is inside and nobody is answering me. Then meanwhile the horse there, the whole place was silent. Now what he could hear? He could hear only the horse, because he was very thirsty and hungry. The horse from long way he is coming. So as soon as he saw the green grass around, he started chewing on the grass, grabbing the grass and eating. No, that grabbing, that is pulling the grass and eating, that kind of one sound. That sound only you could hear, the traveller. The whole place was so silent. And he went, first time when he went and knocked the door, suddenly he saw there is a kind of a house will be having some holes here and there. No, inside that tiles there will be some gap. So a lot of birds flew out of the place. Okay, so because nobody is there in the house, so the birds, now what they did, they came and set their nest over there. So when that man knocked, the traveller knocked at the door, all the birds were sitting inside the thing, they just flew out of the place. So looking at all this, he is saying, okay, definitely there is nobody in the house. And his horse in the silence champed the grasses. Champed means hungrily eating the grass of the forest ferny floor. Ferns. What are ferns? Ferns means lot of growth of this greenery, lot of different types of plants. Ferns we have in the, now those kind of ferns we keep it in the house as decorative plants, okay, ornamental plants, okay. Ferns flow, and birds flew out of the turret. Turret means house where there are the holes. Some even now you see some in a higher place where there is a what's that called, exhaust fan or something. There will be near that there will be one small place, means they will put their set their nest there, isn't it, like that? Here there is nobody, so where they want they can keep their nest. Okay, turret above the traveller's head, where he was knocking the door, just above the tiles there is one small place where the birds were nesting. And he smote upon the door again a second time. What's meaning of smote? Meaning knocking loudly. First he knocked slowly, and then second time he knocked loudly. Knocked again on the door, again the second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveller. Descended means no one responded. No one came out of the, came through the door and, yes, who's there? Nobody came and told. Nobody replied. No head from the leaf-fringed sill. What's meaning of sill? Window sill. What's the sill? This is only the window. So this is the window, and this is called the sill. This is the sill, and here you can see lot of plants, lots, everywhere you can see lot of plants, and nobody came out of the window. Okay, so what he is saying, how he is describing the, no head from the leaf fringe still. No head means what? Nobody came. If anybody is in the house, anybody knocks, what do we do? One, we look to the window, or we look from somewhere, or a balcony or somewhere. So anybody come and knock, we'll see the window, no? Nobody came. No head came and saw through the window. So leaned over and looked into his grey eyes. So nobody came and leaned over, and what color eyes he's got? He's got grey eyes, this fellow, this traveler. So that they have depicted. Where he stood perplexed and still. So he kept knocking again. Second time he knocked, nobody answered. Then he's standing there still. What is happening? He's confused. What is it? Who is there in the house? Like, then only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. So what is the description here? What is he saying? Only a host of, now what is understanding? The traveler is telling that there are nobody now. Now he came to a conclusion that there are no human beings in that house. Only who are staying there? Only the ghost. The ghost or those who were staying before, their ghosts are saying, or it can also be haunted by other ghosts. So that's what that is why nobody is answering me. Though the ghosts are, what they are doing, the ghosts? Silently listening to what he is doing. Now listening to the knock, listening to him talking. Okay. See, that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight. So who was listening quiet in the moonlight? Those ghosts inside the house. Okay. Then to that voice from the world of men. To the voice of the world of men means what? That traveler. He is the only human being there now, isn't it? The horse and one human being, who? The traveler. So they are listening to that man. Who were listening? The ghost. What's the meaning of phantom? Phantom also is a ghost only then. Okay, one unknown person, a phantom or a ghost. Okay. Then stood thronging the faint moonbeams on this dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveller's call. So how it is? See the metaphor there, what they use. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair. So what happened? The moonbeams from the window, they are going inside the hall, because it is locked. He can't see inside. No, only from the glass, the window panes. He just looked inside. He could see. He is imagining. He is seeing a ghost of, that is a host of lot of ghosts standing there. That is people haunted. That is what they say. Ghosts standing in the staircase, just like all of them. He is imagining to see all ghosts standing by the stairs. A dark place, and suddenly one moonlight falling on the stairs, and in the stairs what he can see? He can see the ghost standing on the stairway. So to the voice then stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall. From the stairs to the empty hall it goes, and that staircase only all those ghosts are standing. That is imagining. Hearkening in an air stirred, shaken by the lonely traveller's call. That means what? They are listening. Hearkening means they are listening. What's the meaning of hearkening? Hearkening means listening attentively. Who are listening? The ghosts are listening to what? Silent place. Okay. And suddenly how it was, the silence was broken by what? The traveller knocking at the door. When the traveller knocked at the door, the whole silence was shattered. Okay. So silent, and suddenly one knock. So what will happen? What the metaphor they are using, see there. Hearkening in an air stirred, shaken. Can we stir the air? Can we stir the air? Like when how we are in a cool drinks, we put sugar and stir it, isn't it? We stir it. That is physical. We can stir it. But can we stir the air? Not. We can't go and stir the air. No? Can we do that? We can't do that. So that's what a metaphor that is. Metaphor means comparison. Like how we stir the thing, a liquid, like that. That man's voice is stirring the whole place. Okay. Stirring means, and the whole place was echoing his sound. Okay, stirring. That's what. Get the metaphor there. Metaphor is that line only. Underline it. I told you to keep the book in your hand. No, when you're having the book in your hand, that is why keep a pen or pencil. And as I'm telling you, underline it. Underline this word. Hearkening in an air stirred and shaken. That line is metaphor. Okay. Comparing air to something else. All right. The air is being shaken up by this man's voice. All right. Then by the lonely traveller's call. By the lonely traveller's call, the whole air is being stirred up. Alright, now got that thing? Another one, that's all that poem is about. And I just want to tell you about the poet. Walter de la Mare was an English poet, short story writer and novelist. is best known for his work for children. The Listeners is said to be his most famous poem. Okay, such a nice poem this is. Okay, now I'll tell you the figure of speech. Another one, figure of speech. See, there is a continuous two words. The stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight. Underline it. Stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight, and again stood thronging the faint moonbeams. These two are known as anaphora. Okay, this is also known as figure of speech. I told you before, no? That one is that stood. Then second one is what's it? Metaphor. That is stirred. Oh, these two are the figure of speech. I have told you already what is figure of speech. Figure of speech means this is used only by poets. Okay, it is not in a normal prose or any story, supplementary story. You don't get this kind of imaginative words. Okay, these imaginative words are used only by the poets, and only in the poems only you can see. So there are so many of them. Last poem we have learnt about the other alliteration and other things. No? Now this you have learnt about anaphora, and you learnt about what? Metaphor. Metaphor is comparison. It will not be a open comparison, but a hidden comparison. Metaphor. Okay, got this now? Thank you. Okay, next let's move on to the next thing, that is prose, unit 2 prose. The wind on the haunted hill. Okay, wind on the haunted hill. So again, this also is how the poem was a haunted house, how the traveler was standing and knocking at the haunted house, and here same thing. Here how a small funny incident what happened in a haunted place like that. Okay, now I'll tell you. First, what are the characters? Who are the characters in the thing? Characters: Usha, Suresh, Binya, grandfather, and Aunt Lakshmi. Suresh and Usha are brothers and sisters. Okay, and then Binya is Usha's friend, and of course grandmother Aunt Lakshmi. Okay. So in a house, where was it located? Just imagine. All this is imagine. You must imagine. Okay, how location. When you're reading books, no. When you're reading, what should you do is you should imagine you are there. You are the character. Then only you will understand the lesson properly. Alright. Okay. Now what you are doing is, it is situated in the Himalayas. You know how are Himalayas? No, such a cool place. Mountains everywhere, around bordered by mountains, and then houses. Well, their houses will not be very like how they are here. No, it won't be near. It will be very far away. One house here means it will be far away. That's it. So that kind of a location, one house, beautiful house surrounded by garden, greenery all around. And now what happened is there's going to be a severe storm. Now Suresh, Usha, and Binya stays near her house only. Okay, they go and dry the clothes. So because it's going to rain anytime, so they are going to, before it rains, they wash the clothes. They have to go dry it. So when they are drying the clothes, they put a lot of stones so that it should not fly away. So they, after drying the clothes, and then every weekend Usha goes to buy provisions to the city. She had to cross a long way. She had to go to the city and buy all the provisions, and it is going to rain also. But she cannot avoid it. She had to go because all the provisions were getting over. So without the provision, she can't cook for the next day food. Okay, so she had to go. So what happened? Then they were telling, Suresh and Binya were saying, why are you going? It's going to rain anytime. You'll get caught in the rain. But she couldn't help it. She had to go. So then before that, I'll tell you, grandfather. That is, grandfather is in the house. No, grandfather used to tell a lot of stories. No, grandparents, they tell a lot of stories. Where their house is, there are say 5 kilometers, there is one hill, and just on top of the hill there is one house, say one kind of a very palatial house, a big house. In that house, 100 years back, a British family used to stay there. That is parents, and then after children, a lot of people used to stay there. What happened? There was a severe storm, like how it's going to happen, a severe storm, and the lightning struck that house, and all the people were burnt. That is, they died. Okay, in that lightning they died. The whole family died. Whoever was there in the house, everybody died. And now after since then, there were a lot of ghosts haunting that place. That's what the story was. The elders keep telling us, so don't go that side. There'll be that place is haunted. Avoid going to that place. Like that they keep telling us, no. So like that. So these children, Binya and Suresh and Usha, never looked at her also. When they looked at her also, they get scared. Oh no, wow, we should not go. that place. Okay, now what happened? Now unfortunately she had to go, whatever it is, she has to go and go by the provision. So Binya couldn't accompany her because Binya had some work to do, she couldn't come. Suresh also couldn't leave his grandfather and come away. Okay, so somebody must stay with the grandfather. So Suresh was staying with the grandfather. So what happened? Usha had to go alone to the market. So she took her bag and everything and she went. Half the way she went, only she realized she didn't bring the umbrella. Okay, fine, she went away. As she went, and then she just had one scarf and dupatta and a scarf, that's all she had. So she went, she got all the provision, bought everything, and then near the marketplace there was her aunt's house, Aunt Lakshmi's house. So she had to go pay a visit. That she go and just meet her and come. So she went to the house. She had tea with the aunt, and the Aunt Lakshmi was telling she was not feeling well, not able to do some work, this work, that pain, this pain, something. Now she kept on telling about her, that is all her health. So how can she just come away? No, so Usha was sitting there listening to all that, and then afterwards she said, I have to go, it is getting dark, almost getting down. Now it's become evening. She went around 3 o'clock. Now it's become evening. So it's getting, the rain clouds are gathering soon. So it's getting dark already. So she said, I have to go, she said, and then from there she just, whatever she bought necklaces, she bought provisions, so many things she had bought. So she kept everything and took the dupatta made as a scarf and put around her head, and from there she was just walking and coming. She walked with a fast pace, not slowly. She was walking fast. So because she has to travel a long way, from that place she has to go by walk only. So from there she just walking fast. Even though she walked fast, what happened? Suddenly it started raining. It rained so hard, she was not able to walk also. She had to buy, all the provisions were there in her hand. So she didn't have anything to protect it. So what she did, she had to take shelter. So when she came down, then suddenly it started raining. So what happened? She ran up to which place? To that haunted house. Those Britishers were there, no? That haunted place. She had to go there. Unfortunately, she had to go there because otherwise in her weirdest dreams also she would not have gone to that haunted house too. So she had to go and take shelter from the rain. So she went inside that haunted house. She stood there. As she went, it was now total dark because already raining and evening time. It became totally dark. She couldn't see what was in front. So she entered that house. In the entrance only she couldn't go inside. Very scared. No. The entrance door. No. She was stood there. As she was going back like that. No. She stepped upon a cat. One black cat. It just squeaked out from the place. She just screamed and went out. And that cat also, another one, no, so during this horror films you see, mostly they will show cats only. Black cat suddenly coming and attacking you. So all that she was coming in her mind, that is okay, cat was there, oh my god, I'm getting really scared, she was saying. Then she went inside, and then afterwards she was just looking at around the place where she could see a lot of these ferns, and the greenery was growing wildly inside the house. It was all, you can see, all creeping, the creepers and climbers everywhere inside the house. The windows fully were covered with lot of these ferns and creepers. And then inside the house there was a tree near the staircase, where it goes inside the staircase. So because it is not looked after, no, if people were there, they will look after the place. Nobody is looking after. So it was a mess. The whole place was a mess. And she was standing near the doorway. No, she was feeling very cold because the wind was blowing heavily. It was crazy. The climate was just crazy. Like you can know how the wind blows to the window and doors. And the doors and windows were just banging, and then you can hear the sound of that wind, that oohing sound, no, howling sound of the wind. So all that cat, that howling sound of the wind, the doors and windows shutting, all this, what is that? She kept on, the fear was increasing in her. She was getting very scared. And then afterwards, then she said she should move inside. If she could move inside, she will feel a little warmer, she was thinking. But meanwhile here in the house, Suresh and Binya were worried about Usha. She still has not come. What has happened to her, don't know. So I should find out about them. So they were just talking like we should go and see whether she is safe or what. Okay. Then when meanwhile what happened? This here in the haunted house, Usha had to go inside to get a little warmer. So she saw one fireplace. So the fireplace, what is the fireplace? No, the olden people, they used to light up that place, and during the winter season they used to sit around that fireplace to get warmth. So she went near the fireplace. Fireplace is not working there, no fire is there, but little interior inside the house, she will feel little warmer, isn't it? Because the wind is blowing the breeze was so heavy, that's what. So she goes inside the fireplace. As she was turning to go inside, she suddenly, the lightning had struck. Lightning had, she saw bright lightning. In that lightning, one fear was what? This lightning is going to kill me. Like the Britishers, I thought she is also going to die, lightning is going to strike her and she will die. So she was praying, inside was a small prayer, God help me, like that. So she went, when she saw, during that lightning, she saw two children like crouching near the fireplace, like this, sitting near the fireplace. So she thought, oh God, is British, those people were there, no, their children are as haunting the house as ghosts. So she was getting scared. So looking at them in that lightning, she got scared and she screamed. When she screamed, those two children also started screaming. She was wondering what happened. Then what happened is, those two children were none other than who were Suresh and Vinya. Those two came in search of Usha. So what happened? They had also got wet in the rain and they took shelter in the ruins. That's what the thing. And both of them, three of them got together and they sat near the fireplace and were laughing their heart out like this. Like both each other were thinking, those two were thinking Usha was the ghost and Usha was thinking these two were the ghosts. So both of them were laughing, three of them were laughing, and they passed, but they couldn't go out to the house because the rain has not stopped at all. It was raining heavily, severe rain. So they said, okay, we should better spend our night here itself. Early morning we'll go. Once the rain stops, we'll go. So they stayed there, and then after the morning, say or early morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, the whole sky was pink and the rain had stopped and the clouds were clearing up. The rain clouds were clearing up and it will clear. The completely it was normal. The climate was weather was little normal. And then they came out and both of them were feeling very hungry. Suresh was feeling very hungry. Said, okay, then we'll go down the hill. As they were coming down, they came, three of them held hands and they're coming down. Then suddenly Usha could hear one sound, goodbye. So, goodbye, who said goodbye? She's asking each other. You said goodbye? No, I did not say. Suresh said, I did not say. Vinaya said, no, I didn't. But for her, she could hear somebody say goodbye. When she turned and saw, like on that plum tree, no, the plum tree near that house, it was like one hand saying goodbye like that. Like saying goodbye. She felt somebody, that wind blowing to the plum tree and somebody saying goodbye. That kind of a sound she heard. Said, who's saying goodbye there? Then hurriedly they came down the hill and they went back to the house. So this was a small three children, how they had a jolly time in the haunted house and thinking they didn't want to go there, but unfortunately she had to go there. So this is the story. Hope you understood it. So what should you do is, just listening to the story is not enough. Take the book. There are three sections, that is section 1, 2, 3. Okay, go through it, read it. Now I told the story. Now if you read it, no, you'll understand. There are small dialogues between them. All that you must know. Reading is very important. Okay, reading the lesson is very, very important. Read it like one story. You read it. Okay, just don't depend on what I've said. Read the story, then you'll understand like one story. Understand any question we ask to you, you'll be able to answer. All right, go through that thing, learn all the meanings, and any questions you got, you can ask us. If you didn't understand any point, all right. Hope you understood the poem and the prose. Thank you.